Try dragging a car across gravel. Now scale that to 1,000 tons of limestone. At Baalbek, the secret wasn't brute force, it was beating friction. So, how did they move it? We'll follow the evidence. Baalbek sits in Lebanon's Bekaa Valley. Romans called it Heliopolis, the city of the sun. The temple platform uses absurdly large stones, the trilithon at about 800 tons each, a nearby quarry block around 1,000, and an even bigger one estimated at 1,600. These weren't carved for display, they were meant to be moved and set tight. The obstacle isn't cutting, it's getting them to budge. On the ground, the stone grips the earth. Change the surface and you change the story. Logs make it roll. Greased planks make it slide. Now 1,000 tons acts like something you can inch forward safely. Make it slide, not stick, and keep it slow. Here's the working sequence. Before anything moves, the root appears, not a road, just a line you can trace across the ground. Low spots are firmed, bumps are shaved until the surface runs true. Where the earth gives, timbers take the load. Where the slope turns, the line bends, gently, deliberately. You can see evidence of choices like this at many ancient sites: straighter runs that avoid rough ground, compacted surfaces where weight likely passed, and traces consistent with temporary ways. Nothing here looks dramatic. It looks prepared. A quiet, practical runway, set for something far heavier than it appears. From here, the work changes, not dragging through rough ground, but guiding the stone over a path made to let it move. The stone doesn't meet the ground. It meets wood. A broad sledge takes the weight, its runners darkened with fat and oil. On smoother stretches, rollers appear under planked ways. Fresh logs fed from the back to the front, a quiet rhythm that never stops. Where the path tilts, the rollers give way and the greased sledge returns. Less speed, more control. Power is not a shout, it's a circle. Capstans turn, men walking steady arcs, ropes drawing tight in a line that feels more like breathing than hauling. Pull, reset, pull again. The stone creeps, and in creeping it becomes possible. Between moves, the path is tended, planks are straightened, grease is renewed, ropes are checked and rehitched. Progress here isn't measured in leaps, but in careful meters that add up. Nothing miraculous, just wood, rope, and timing, arranged so that mass behaves. When the route falls away, speed isn't a goal, it's a risk. The path tightens, stakes appear in the ground like anchors, ropes wrap them in wide turns, building friction before the stone even moves. The sledge drags over mats that bite just enough. Chocks wait under the runners, ready to kill motion in a heartbeat. On steeper moments, the line splits. One rope pulls, another holds. A third pays out slow. Nothing rushes. Each meter is earned, then secured. Downhill becomes a series of controlled pauses until the grade eases and the work returns to simple pull and reset. No drama, just a system that refuses to let gravity decide. Raising comes without a single lift. It starts at the edge, a lever, a few centimeters of space, and a block slid underneath. Again, along the length, until a crib of timber stands where there was only ground. A staircase of wood grows under stone. At height, movement turns sideways, a slipway. Timbers or stone pads touched with oil or wet clay takes the load. Lines run tight. On one side they pull, on the other they hold, so the block answers in centimeters, not meters. The pocket is ready. For the final seat, a simple bed of sand does what force can't. Sand is let out through small ports. The stone settles itself, quiet and exact. No spectacle, just patience arranged into precision. Not every cut becomes a stone in a wall. In the quarry, one block grows beyond reason, larger than the rest, clean faces started, edges true, and then it stops. The answer isn't mystery, it's math. As size climbs, everything else climbs with it. Timber, teams, time, risk. The benefit doesn't keep up. The builders already proved the point at Baalbek. 3 blocks around 800 tons set in place. The larger quarry piece reads like a decision on pause. Not a failure, but a line they chose not to cross. There's no single blueprint left behind. Different crews could solve the same problem in different orders, but the pieces agree across sites and centuries. Reduce grip, spread weight, multiply pull, control motion, place with leverage. Hard isn't impossible. What survives on the ground, tool marks, prepared ways, fitting tricks, points to craft, not magic. So that's how 1,000 tons becomes movable, by removing friction and controlling motion. But moving isn't the end. At Baalbek, the real question is fit. How do 800-ton blocks sit this tight? Next, the trilithon joints. What makes them work?